So the first one, so at Voyager, we've got this thing called Explorer.
Yep.
And that's what you are. You're exploring the independent career and have made great headway into it. Every letter stands for something. And the one I wanted to talk to you about today, specifically for you, is the E in Explorer. One of them will talk about that. And that E for Explorer in Voyager stands for enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We can't just be working all the time.
Right.
Talk a little bit. I know you work like crazy. I know you have this crazy work ethic. How do you balance that? Help others learn how do you balance that? What else do you do? And how do you balance that critical part of being successful?
Yeah, it's a great question, John. I think that there's a couple things. One is just thinking through the reality that even though you're working for yourself, even though you've got clients, you still need to have some semblance of work life. I know work-life balance isn't really in vogue anymore, but you need to carve out time for your family where you're not thinking about work, right? You need to make sure you've got time to do things for yourself, for other people, that's not just working on client business, because otherwise, yeah, it'll drive you mad. And I think one of the challenges, particularly when you start kind of working for yourself, is you don't have the structure of the 9-to-5 schedule or the going to the office and leaving work at work. So you've got to build that in very intentionally. So for me, that's a couple things. One is, I actually play guitar and sing in the church band, which is great because that forces me, because I've got a standing gig every week, I have to practice, right? I have to learn the songs. There are other people depending upon me. And it's a responsibility, but it's a creative responsibility, and I love doing it. So I take pleasure in doing it, and I look forward to it. But I've also gone through periods of my life where I haven't been in bands, and then the guitar can sit in the corner for 3 months and never get picked up because it's easy to not take time for creative stuff. So for me, putting that intentional structure in that is something creative was very helpful. The other is we just got in the habit, kind of starting with COVID, but now beyond that, of always eating dinner together as a family and then hanging out with the kids and playing games and doing just stuff with each other and enjoying this time I have with 2 high school students, which, let's be honest, it's not too many years from now, they're going to be out of the house. So are the games silly sometimes? Absolutely, right? Are the games, why are we still trying to play Monopoly? These kids are 15 and 18 years old, but and we don't do that every night. But the point is, it's fun to do that stuff once in a while, right? So you really just need to, I think the key is make time and schedule time for non-work activities. And then, the other thing I'm doing right now, I think you and I have talked about this, John, is I'm writing a book, which also is a huge creative outlet for me. It takes a lot of the work I do, and I'm kind of putting a lot of down into paper in terms of the frameworks I use, in terms of the examples I use. But for me, writing is a creative outlet too. So I write a lot and I post things on LinkedIn, and some of those things will be applicable to the book, some won't. But ultimately, I make a point of carving out time every week to get that done. So it really just comes down to time management and making sure you're carving out time for fun. Because otherwise, you could easily work all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.